Thanksgiving's warmth turned icy when family cast Soren out, suitcase in hand. Pumpkin pie's scent masked bitter truths in that Ohio farmhouse. A retired dreamer, he faced betrayal, yet sought forgiveness. Can empathy mend shattered bonds? Watch this emotional family story unfold. The frost crunches under my boots as I stand outside our Ohio farmhouse, suitcase, heavy in my hand. Thanksgiving dusk paints the sky in purples, but the warmth of the glowing windows feels a world away. Pumpkin pie's sweet aroma lingers, a cruel reminder of the dinner I'm no longer part of. My breath clouds in the November air, and I stare at the closed door, oak weathered, unyielding. Moments ago, Mom Clara slammed it shut, her voice sharp. "You're not welcome here until you grow up. I'm Soren Vale, 32, and I don't know what I did wrong." Inside the house hums with tension I didn't see coming. Hours earlier, we sat around the dining table, mismatched plates piled with turkey and stuffing. The TV blared football, a Thanksgiving ritual, but no one cheered. Dad Harlan sat rigid, his eyes flicking to a stack of bills by the radio. Maris, my sister, poked at her mashed potatoes, her smile forced. I tried to lighten the mood, joking about my latest freelance app design. "It's paying the bills," I said, grinning. Harlan's fork froze. "Bills," he snapped. "You're playing games on a computer while we're drowning." His voice cut deeper than the frost outside. Clara's eyes darted to him, then me. "Soren, you need a real job," she said, softer but firm. I argued back, my face hot. "I'm not some kid. My work's real." The room went quiet. "The kind of silence that chokes you," Maris whispered. "Let's just eat." But it was too late. Now I'm here exiled. My suitcase battered from college days, holds clothes, a laptop, and a faded family photo. Us at a county fair, smiling like nothing could break us. A scrap of paper slips out, fluttering to the ground. A lottery ticket bought on a whim last week. I shove it back, not caring. My heart's racing, but my mind's stuck. Why now? Why this fight? I replay Harlan's words, Clara's disappointment. Was it just my job or something deeper? I think of past Thanksgivings, laughter over pie, Dad teaching me to carve the turkey. Those memories feel like lies now. I step closer to the door, tempted to knock, to demand answers. But the cold seeps into my bones, and I hesitate. Clara's voice echoes in my head. "Grow up. I'm a man, but I feel like a boy cast out." My monologue runs wild. Did I fail them? Was I too wrapped up in my world to see theirs crumbling? I glance at the house where shadows move behind curtains. Harlan's probably at the table. Clara wiping dishes, Maris texting to escape. They're a family, and I'm not part of it anymore. The social issue hits hard, our generational gap. My tech work apps and gigs is a language they don't speak. To them, it's not work, not like Harlan's factory shifts or Clara's bookkeeping. I tried showing them my designs once, but Harlan scoffed. Real men don't stare at screens. Now I'm paying for it. The subplot of their financial strain gnaws at me, those bills on the counter. Harlan's tense glance. Are they hiding something? My reflection deepens. Can family ties snap so easily, or is there a way back? I want to believe we're more than this fight. I turn away, suitcase dragging. The cliffhanger looms. Why did they really kick me out? Was it my job or a secret they're keeping? I walk into the dusk, the lottery ticket forgotten in my pocket, unaware that by dawn everything will change. The Ohio farmhouse dining room glows under a chipped chandelier, its light catching the steam rising from a golden turkey. It's Thanksgiving morning, and the table's a patchwork of memories, mismatched plates, Grandma's gravy boat, a centerpiece of pine cones Maris and I painted as kids. Pumpkin pie cools on the counter, its cinnamon scent mixing with the tang of cranberry sauce. The TV in the corner blares a football game, cheers echoing like a distant holiday promise. I'm Soren Vale, sitting across from my family trying to believe we're still whole. Harlan. My dad carves the turkey with a scowl, his calloused hands steady but tense. Mom. Clara fusses with a serving spoon, her apron smudged with flour. Maris, my sister, slumps in her chair, poking at mashed potatoes, her forced smile tight as a drum. I catch her eye, hoping for an ally, but she looks away. The radio by the window hums holiday ads, half buried under a stack of bills Harlan keeps glancing at. I clear my throat, desperate to break the silence. My new app's doing great, I say, voice too bright. Got a client in Columbus. Pays the rent. I grin, expecting a nod, maybe pride. Harlan's knife pauses. Rent? He snaps, eyes narrowing. You're fiddling with gadgets while real work's drying up. This family's sinking and you're playing games? His words hit like a slap, sharper than the November frost outside. I blink, stung. Clara sets down the spoon, her voice softer but heavy. Soren, we just want you stable. A real job like your father's. I feel the room shrink their judgment, pressing in. My work is real, I say, heat rising. I built that app from scratch. It's not some hobby, Maris shifts, whispering. Can we just eat? But her voice drowns in the tension. The silence is deafening, a silent scene that chokes the air. Forks scrape plates, but no one looks up. I feel the emotional trigger not good enough. My tech success, the late nights coding the clients, praising my designs, it's nothing to them. To Harlan, it's not a factory shift. To Clara, it's not a steady paycheck. I'm their son, but I'm failing their measure of worth. My monologue swirls. I thought they'd see me the man I've become. Am I invisible because I don't punch a clock? I glance at the family photo on the wall, us at a summer fair, laughing. It feels like a lie. Clara's tech struggles bubble up a light subplot, cutting the heaviness. She pulls out her smartphone, frowning at the screen. This bank app's useless, she mutters, tapping wildly. Why is it so complicated? Maris stifles a giggle, and I almost smile, but Harlan grunts. Put that thing away, Clara. Focus on family. The generational gap yawns wide. My world of apps is alien to them, a joke. The financial strain subplot simmers too. Those bills. Harlan's tight jaw. Are they hiding debt? My reflection deepens. I want to prove I'm enough, but what if they're hurting too? Compassion tugs, but I'm too raw to reach out. I try dialogue, a solution. Look, my work's different, but it's solid. I can help. Harlan cuts me off. Help start by growing up. The words land like stones. Clara nods faintly, and Maris stares at her plate. The cliffhanger looms. Will I snap back or swallow my pride? The football crowd roars on TV, a cruel contrast to our silence. I grip my fork, the taste of stuffing souring, wondering how this meal became a battleground. The Ohio farmhouse darkens as evening settles. The chandelier's glow now a faint flicker against the November chill. Frost creeps up the windows, framing a dining room still heavy with the ghosts of our Thanksgiving meal. Untouched leftovers, turkey cranberry sauce, pumpkin pie. Sit on the table, their warmth gone cold like the air between us. The TV's football game hums in the background, a mocking cheer to our unraveling. I'm Soren Vale, standing by the table, my voice hoarse from trying to be heard, my heart cracking under the weight of their words. Harlan's face is stone, his arms crossed tight. You're a dreamer, Soren, he says, voice low-cutting. Chasing screens while we're losing everything. His eyes flick to the stack of bills by the radio, a silent accusation. Clara, her apron still on, wrings her hands, her gaze torn between us. Soren, we just want you to grow up, she says, her tone pleading but firm. A real job, something stable like your father's. I snap my chest tight. Stable. My apps pay my way. I'm not some failure. My words bounce off the walls too loud, too desperate. Maris, hovering by the doorway, whispers, Soren, please calm down, her voice, a fragile thread. But I can't stop. The argument spirals, dialogue sharp as knives. You think you're better than us? Harlan barks. Your gadgets won't save this family, I fire back. I'm trying to build something, Dad. Why can't you see that? Clara steps in, her voice breaking. Enough, Soren. If you can't respect our way, you need to leave. The room freezes, a silent scene of shock. Leave my home. This creaky farmhouse where I learned to ride a bike, where Mom taught me to bake bread. I look at Maris, begging for backup. But her eyes drop, her hands twisting her phone case. The generational gap yawns. My tech world is a betrayal to their sweat and soil values. I storm to my old room, the action raw. I yank my suitcase from the closet, stuffing in clothes, my laptop, a faded family photo from that county fair, all of us grinning. My fingers linger on the frame, the emotional trigger of sadness washing over me. Rejected, cast out by the people who raised me. My monologue churns. I thought they knew me, saw my heart. Am I nothing to them now? I hesitate at the door, clutching the photo, wanting to run back to fix this. But Clara's words echo, leave. I'm their son, but I'm not enough. The financial strain subplot surfaces quietly. Clara slips the bills into a drawer, her hands trembling. A foreclosure notice peeks out unseen by me, but heavy with secrets. Are they drowning? And I'm the scapegoat. Clara's tech struggles linger too. Her phone buzzing with a bank alert she ignores, too overwhelmed. The social issue stings, our worlds don't align. My apps, my future are gibberish to their factory and ledger life. My reflection claws at me. Did I miss their pain, too busy defending mine? Honesty could bridge this, but I'm too hurt to try. I drag the suitcase downstairs, the door slamming behind me. A sound as trigger that echoes like a gunshot. Clara's voice follows, faint but final. Grow up. Soren. The cliffhanger hangs. Where will I go, with only a suitcase and a broken heart? The farmhouse looms behind me, its windows dark, the Thanksgiving leftovers, a bitter reminder of what I've lost. I step into the frost, not knowing the ticket in my pocket holds a future I can't imagine. The Ohio night wraps me in cold as I trudge from the farmhouse, suitcase wheels scraping the gravel road. Frost glitters under streetlights, and the distant hum of holiday radio ads from a neighbor's porch mocks my exile. I'm Soren Vale, 32, homeless in my hometown, my breath clouding in the November air. The gas station ahead, its fluorescent glow a harsh beacon, promises a moment to think. I push through the glass door, the bell jangling like a warning. Inside, the air smells of stale coffee and motor oil, a far cry from the pumpkin pie warmth I've lost. I slump at the counter, the clerk, a kid with earbuds, barely glances up. My suitcase rests by my feet, the faded family photo inside weighing heavier than the laptop. I dig in my pocket for change, and that lottery ticket, crumpled and forgotten, falls out. I stare at it, a whim from last week's coffee run. Why not I hand it to the clerk? Check this, I mutter, expecting nothing. He scans it, then freezes eyes wide. Dude, you won. $10 million. The words hit like a thunderclap, the emotional trigger of shock ripping through me. My heart stumbles. What I croak, leaning in. The machine's screen flashes winner, 10 more thousand or $1,000. I'm rich, but I'm standing in a gas station homeless. The silent scene stretches me motionless, staring at the ticket under the flickering lights. The clerk babbles, "Man, you're set for life," but his voice fades. My monologue surges $10 million, and I've got nowhere to sleep. Is this a cruel joke? Then a detail snags me. The ticket's corner has Maris's handwriting. For luck. Soren. She slipped it into my wallet last week, grinning, saying, "You never know. My sister, the one who whispered for calm, gave me this fortune." Gratitude floods me, a lesson in her quiet kindness, but it's tangled with confusion. Why now, when I've lost everything else? The gas station's radio crackles with holiday ads, Black Friday deals, cheerful jingles grounding me in this surreal moment. The social issue of our generational gap lingers. My tech skills mocked by Harlan led to apps that paid for that ticket. Irony stings my useless work sparked this win, but it couldn't save my place at home. The subplot of Clara's tech struggles surfaces too. Outside, I spot her car pulling up. She's here fumbling with her phone's banking app, muttering as the screen freezes. She doesn't see me, but her frustration mirrors our divide. Is she checking their crumbling finances, the bills I glimpsed? My reflection deepens. Can money mend what's broken? This fortune could change everything, but will they even listen? I clutch the ticket, Maris's gift, a symbol of hope I don't yet feel. The solution is self-focus. I need to decide what this means alone before facing them. The clerk hands me a claim form saying, "Call the lottery office, man." I nod, dazed, the action mechanical. The cliffhanger looms. Will I tell my family, or keep this secret as I wander into the night? I step outside, the frost. Biting harder, the ticket burning in my hand, unaware of the truths waiting to unravel. The Ohio night lies heavy frost, silvering the fields like brittle glass. Past midnight now, and I, Soren Vale, stand where I was cast out just hours ago. The farmhouse windows glow faintly, stars behind curtains, indifferent to my return. My suitcase waits by a hedge inside it, the lottery ticket, $10 million from Maris, burning silently. But I didn't come to flaunt it. I came because something doesn't sit right. I inch toward the kitchen window, heart hammering. Inside, Clara and Harlan speak in hushed tones. "We can't lose the farm," Clara says, her voice taut. "The bank's calling in the loan." Harlan's reply cuts sharper. "If Soren hadn't been so selfish." I flinch. Selfish, I wired them money last year, offered budgeting help, they mocked. Is this what they believe? Their words twist deeper. "He's gone now. Maybe that's for the best," Clara sighs. I clench my fists, rage burning beneath the cold. I thought they pushed me out over pride, over my job. But now I see it, the silence wasn't anger. It was shame. Through the window, I glimpse the kitchen. Grandma's clock, ticking, candles flickering beside a teetering pile of bills. Clara fumbles with her phone, the banking app, frozen, unreadable to her. My world of digital side gigs, of mobile finance, they dismissed it as frivolous. But now foreclosure papers peek from a drawer. Red-stamped. Final. A twig snaps underfoot. I freeze. Harlan glances toward the glass. I back away, suitcase in hand, breath sharp. Maybe they lied to hide failure. Or maybe I stopped listening when they needed me most. The house dims behind me, a quiet tomb of half-truths. I turn toward the road, the ticket's weight mocking me. Somewhere beneath this frost lies a deeper fracture, and I'm not sure who broke it first. Dawn spills over Ohio's frost-laced fields, casting a soft glow on the old red barn. Its paint, faded and peeling, still holds fast against the November wind. I lean against the worn boards, Soren Vale suitcase by my side, heart heavier than it should be. The scent of cold earth and distant wood smoke lingers. Somewhere far off Thanksgiving, parades blare on, but here silence reigns. In my coat pocket, a lottery ticket worth $10 million, Maris's gift, crinkles. But it feels weightless against the anger burning inside me. Last night I found out about the foreclosure. My parents didn't tell me. They blamed me. An hour ago, Maris texted, "Meet me at the barn. I'll explain." She arrives, scarf trailing behind her boots, crunching on frost. "Soren," she says softly. "I'm sorry." We sit on a hay bale, shadows curling around us. "Mom didn't mean to push you out," she adds. "There's more you don't know." Her voice nudges something in me relief. Maybe I'm not alone in this after all. A flashback flickers childhood Thanksgiving. Maris and I swapped Dad's gravy with chocolate syrup, laughing behind this very barn. He'd sputtered, then laughed with us. That rare smile. We chuckle now, but Maris grows serious. "I'm selling my car to help the farm," she says. My chest tightens. She's carrying their debt now, too. As she walks away, parade horns fade in the distance. The ticket in my pocket presses like a question, will money fix what silence broke? The Ohio diner hums with midday warmth, its checkered floor scuffed by years of small-town boots. Beyond the windows, frost-dusted fields stretch under a pale November sky, a quiet reminder of the farm I've lost. I'm Soren Vale, sitting across from Maris in a vinyl booth, the jukebox crooning a holiday tune, Bing Crosby's voice soft as snow. The air smells of burgers and fresh coffee, a comforting haze, but my chest is tight. My suitcase rests by my feet, the lottery ticket, $10 million. Maris's gift hidden in my pocket, overshadowed by last night's anger and this morning's fragile hope. Maris's promise to explain Clara's actions brought me here, but I'm braced for more pain. Maris sips her coffee, her scarf loose, eyes heavy. "Soren," she starts, voice trembling. "Mom didn't kick you out because of your job." She pulls a worn leather diary from her bag. Clara's, its pages yellowed. The action unfolds as she slides it toward me, her fingers lingering. "Read this," she whispers. I open it, the letter reveal technique bearing Clara's heart. A passage from years ago. "My parents left when I was young. I fear Soren will too, chasing his dreams. I can't lose him, but I pushed him away to keep him close." My breath catches the emotional trigger of abandonment crashing over me. Clara feared I'd leave her like her parents did, so she struck first. My monologue aches. She was scared, not cruel. All this time her silence hid a wound I never saw. Tears well in Maris's eyes, mirroring mine, the emotional hook of our shared grief pulling us tight. "She's been reading this every night," Maris says, voice breaking. "She thinks you'll never come back." The dialogue cuts deep, each word a plea for understanding. I clutch the diary, its weight heavier than the ticket. The lesson of compassion surges. I see Clara not as my judge, but a mother haunted by loss. The solution is self-focus. I need to process this pain to decide if I can forgive. My heart twists, torn between hurt and empathy. The diner's jukebox shifts to White Christmas, grounding us in Thanksgiving's bittersweet glow. The social issue of our generational gap lingers. Clara's fear, rooted in her past, clashed with my tech-driven dreams. widening our rift. She couldn't bridge my world just as I couldn't see her scars. The financial strain subplot echoes faintly. Maris mentions the farm's debt again, her voice low, but it's secondary to this raw truth. Clara's tech struggles are absent here, letting the emotional weight breathe. My reflection deepens. Can I forgive her for pushing me away to hold me close? Her fear broke us, but it came from love. I trace the diary's words, Clara's shaky handwriting, a map of her heart. The action peaks as I wipe my eyes, Maris reaching for my hand. Her touch a silent vow to help us heal. The cliffhanger looms. Can I forgive Clara? Or will this wound keep us apart? The diner's warmth fades as I stare at the diary. The holiday tune a faint hope, the ticket's promise distant against the weight of what I've learned. The Ohio farmhouse slouches beneath a heavy gray sky, its roof dusted with frost, and its silence louder than any storm. A limp Thanksgiving wreath, half stripped of color, clings to the front door, forgotten brittle. Inside, I stand in the kitchen, air thick with yesterday's turkey and stale coffee. My suitcase rests by the threshold. Inside a lottery ticket, Maris's farewell gesture. But what brought me back wasn't luck. It was Clara's diary, her quiet scribbles of fear and abandonment. I needed to understand. Harlan. My father leans against the scarred oak table flannel shirt, dulled by years, eyes hollow. Clara hands tight around a dish towel, won't meet my gaze. Maris hovers by the old radio holiday music, low and distant. I hold up a crumpled paper, his layoff notice. You lost your job and didn't tell us. You let me think I was the problem. His jaw flexes. 30 years and it ended like that. The words scrape from his throat. Didn't want you to think I'd failed. Clara's voice is soft. He couldn't bear to let you down. Maris adds, barely audible. I caught him crying. He thought no one knew. The room shifts. I see not the father who dismissed my ambitions, but a man quietly undone by a world that cast him aside. Our lives, his factory, my startups, suddenly don't oppose, they just ache differently. Clara's glance flicks to a drawer where another truth hides the foreclosure letter. But this weight is older than Bill's. It's shame no one could name. The clock ticks. A candle flickers low, its wax pooling like unspoken grief. Harlan sinks into a chair, not broken, just real. I set the notice down. The anger thaws. Now comes the harder question. Can I forgive the silence? Can he let me help? The Ohio farmhouse fades as my mind drifts the afternoon light, dimming into memory. I'm Soren Vale, sitting alone on the porch steps, the frost-bitten boards creaking under me. The Thanksgiving wreath sways above its pine cones, shedding needles like tears. My suitcase rests nearby, the lottery ticket, $10 million, Maris's gift, still hidden. But it's Harlan's confession, his layoff shame, that anchors me here. Clara's diary revealed her fear of abandonment. Now Harlan's broken pride reshapes him in my eyes. Yet I'm lost, grappling with their pain, and mine needing to understand where we went wrong. A breeze carries the scent of damp earth, and a sound as trigger pulls me back, a distant tractor's hum like one from years ago. The flashback technique sweeps me to a summer day, the farm vibrant with golden cornfields, the air thick with hay and warmth. I'm 16, tinkering with my first computer in the barn wires and code my playground. Harlan then, a towering figure in his factory boots, leans in, his laugh rare and warm. You've got a knack, Soren, he says, clapping my shoulder. This tech stuff, it's something special. His praise so unexpected lit me up, fueling my dreams. We walked the fields, him pointing out the old oak we'd climb. his voice proud, not bitter. That day he saw me, back on the porch. The tractor's hum fades, the present's chill returning. The emotional trigger of clarity washes over me. Harlan's anger wasn't about my tech work. It was his own loss, his factory closing, stealing his worth. My monologue stirs. He believed in me once, before his world crumbled. I missed that man buried under his pride. The generational gap aches his factory life. My apps and gigs diverged, but his praise proves we weren't always at odds. The lesson of understanding dawns. I judged him as harshly as he judged me. The subplots weave in. Clara steps outside, phone in hand, smiling faintly. I figured out that bank app, she says, showing me a balance screen. Her tech success, small but triumphant, sparks a chuckle, easing the air. The tech subplot highlights our divide. She's trying my world, but it's late. Maris's voice drifts from inside on the phone. Yeah, the car's sold. It'll help the farm. The financial strain subplot cuts her sacrifice like Harlan's silence shields their crumbling home. The social issue persists. Our clashing worlds, tech versus tradition, blinded us to each other's struggles. My reflection deepens. I assumed Harlan's scorn was forever, but he saw my spark once. Can we find that again? The solution is self-focus. I must let go of my assumptions to see them clearly. The action is quiet. I trace the porch's worn grain, the oak tree looming in the distance, a symbol of roots we share. The cliffhanger looms. Can I reach the Harlan who praised me, or is he gone? The farmhouse stands silent, the wreath's shadow soft, the ticket's promise a distant hope as clarity lights my path. Morning light spills over Ohio's frost-covered fields, brushing the old farmhouse in pale gold. The air holds the scent of dew and faint wood smoke laced with a silence that aches. I'm Soren Vale, sitting on a crooked fence by the barn, my suitcase open, memory unraveling. The Thanksgiving wreath still hangs on the door, but it feels like a lie. This holiday left more fractures than warmth. In my coat pocket is a lottery ticket, $10 million a gift from Maris. But what truly weighs on me is Harlan's quiet confession about losing his job and Clara's diary filled with fears of being left behind. A photo slips out us at a county fair laughing. Harlan's arm draped around me, his smile easy. I brush my thumb over his face. He once believed in me. I didn't see it then. Years ago, he offered me a job at the factory steady work security. I laughed. I had tech dreams startups code. I thought his offer was small-minded. But it wasn't, it was love. His way of saying, stay close. I see it now, the gulf we never crossed. He spoke through calloused hands and unspoken effort. I responded with pride and silence. We were both trying, but in different languages. This morning I finally admitted I shut him out too. I wore my hurt like armor and never questioned my own part. But I see it now. Healing doesn't start with blame. It starts with honesty with myself. One by one, I unpack my things, shirts, my laptop, the photo laying them on the fence, like small acts of reckoning. The ticket stays in my pocket. Money can't fix pride. Somewhere a radio hums with holiday cheer that doesn't quite land. I breathe, feeling the weight and the chance in front of me. The house is still. The barn glows. I rise. Light hits my face. The photo trembles in my hand. I still have time. I still have a choice. The kitchen hums with quiet tension beneath the flicker of an old ceiling light. Shadows stretch across the scarred oak table, worn smooth by years of shared meals and rough words. Frost webs the windows, holding back the fading November sun. The air still smells faintly of Thanksgiving turkey pine and something colder unresolved hurt. My suitcase waits by the door, unopened. I'm not here to leave. I'm Soren Vale. I've come home not to escape, but to face what shattered us. In my hand is a check, $10 million from a lottery ticket Maris once handed me. Not a reward. A chance. I glance at Harlan, tense, and still his sleeves rolled, jaw clenched. Clara grips a dish towel like a lifeline. Maris leans near the silent radio. I speak. I know about the foreclosure, and I know why you kept me out. Harlan flinches. Then I lift the check. I won $10 million. I want to save the farm. The silence ripples. Clara lets the towel fall. Maris's breath hitches. Harlan scoffs. You think money fixes this? I step closer. No. I'm not here to buy your forgiveness. I'm here because we're still a family. Clara's voice cracks. We were wrong, Soren. I nod. So was I. I didn't see your pain. Harlan stares down at the table, his voice low. I couldn't admit I'd lost everything. Clara whispers, I thought if I broke down you'd leave. The silence that follows isn't sharp anymore. It's soft. Something begins to thaw, not a perfect resolution, but the start of one. I don't see failure in their eyes anymore, only the effort. The same effort I've been making all along. I place the lottery check on the table, $10 million Maris's miracle, but it's not the most valuable thing here. Harlan doesn't touch it. Instead, Clara steps forward and hugs me tightly. Maris joins arms, wrapping around all three of us. That warmth. That's what we lost. And now, slowly, it's returning. Outside, the Ohio air still bites with November cold, but inside this farmhouse the glow is golden. The chandelier sparkles. The wreath hangs straight. Turkey and cranberry fill the air with the scent of history and healing. I'm no longer Soren the outsider. I'm Soren's son and brother home, finally. At the table, Harlan carves with quiet care. Clara hums as she lays down fresh rolls. Maris sets down Grandma's gravy boat, smiling like she used to when she was small. We sit, and the clink of plates sounds like music. To us, I say. Better than last time, Harlan chuckles. Clara squeezes my hand. We're grateful, Maris teases, and no chocolate syrup pranks this year. We laugh. And that laughter, that's the real miracle. The past hurt, but we faced it. And by facing it, we found each other again. Forgiveness didn't erase what happened. But it made room for what could be, a new chapter. A home rebuilt not just with money, but with truth and time and love. If you've ever been shattered, know this wholeness isn't lost forever. You can come home again. We did.